Ever since winning re-election in December 2024, President Donald Trump hasn't shied away from a bold and unexpected idea: turning Canada into the 51st state of the United States. This idea isn't just a one-time remark. It's become a recurring theme in his speeches, interviews, and social media posts, sparking reactions worldwide. Some see it as a joke, others take it as a serious policy move, and Canadians? Well, let's just say opinions are mixed. It all started when Trump met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that December. In a moment that left reporters stunned, he casually suggested that Canada might want to consider joining the U.S. if trade disputes became too much of a headache. Then, with his signature bravado, he referred to Trudeau as Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada. Whether he meant it as a lighthearted jab or a genuine vision for the future, no one was entirely sure. A few days later, on December 18th, Trump took to Truth Social to double down on the idea. He claimed that plenty of Canadians would love to become part of the U.S. because it would mean lower taxes and stronger national security. To drive his point home, he even floated the idea that legendary hockey star Wayne Gretzky should run for office, either as Prime Minister or, in Trump's words, Governor of Canada, because apparently he'd win in a landslide. Fast forward to January 7th. Standing at a press conference in Mar-a-Lago, Trump wasn't backing down. He told reporters he was ready to use economic pressure to nudge Canada towards statehood, arguing that it would make both countries safer and save the U.S. billions in border security costs. That same week, he posted an image on Truth Social of the U.S. flag stretching over both nations, captioned with a playful nod to Canada's national anthem. The internet, as expected, went wild. By the time Super Bowl 59 rolled around, the topic was impossible to ignore. A Fox News interviewer asked him point blank if he was serious about absorbing Canada into the U.S. Trump didn't hesitate. "Yes," he said, "I am serious." Then, on February 1st, things escalated. Trump announced a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods, citing concerns over illegal border crossings and the fentanyl crisis. But there was a catch. Canada could avoid these new trade penalties if it agreed to discuss statehood. It was a move straight out of the Trump playbook. Hit hard on economics, then offer a way out on his terms. And just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more dramatic, on February 13th, speaking from the Oval Office. Before continuing, we would love to take out a second and ask you a question. Would you want Canada to join the U.S. and become the 51st state? Or the U.S. should just forget about it? It's never happening. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Donald Trump has once again made headlines by slapping new tariffs on Canadian goods and doubling down on his long-running idea, absorbing Canada into the United States as its 51st state. During a recent speech, Trump didn't hold back. He referred to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau not as a world leader, but as Governor Trudeau, of what he envisions as the future state of Canada. He insisted that Canadians would see massive tax cuts and enjoy stronger security under the U.S. government. Then, as usual, he took his message to social media, firing off a statement that sent shockwaves across both nations. "Canada barely pays for its own defense," Trump wrote. "The U.S. is covering over $200 billion a year to protect them. Why? It doesn't make sense. The best, most logical solution is simple. Canada should join us as our cherished 51st state." He painted a picture of what this new reality could look like. No more trade wars, no more tariffs, lower taxes for Canadians, and an even bigger, stronger America. The northern border? Gone. The U.S. would stretch from Mexico to the Arctic, making it, as he put it, the most powerful and secure nation in history. And just in case Canadians thought he was trying to erase their identity, he threw in a nod to their national anthem. "Oh, Canada will still be played," he assured. "But now it will celebrate a great and powerful state within the greatest nation the world has ever known." But Trump's interest in Canada isn't just about statehood, it's also about oil. While he once dismissed Canadian energy imports, things have taken a dramatic turn. Now, he's pushing hard for a major new pipeline to connect Canada's oil fields with U.S. refineries. His tone on the issue has completely flipped. Instead of arguing for total American energy independence, he's calling for the revival of the Keystone XL pipeline, a project canceled by Biden that once promised to transport massive amounts of oil from Canada to the U.S. At a recent press conference, Trump went on the offensive, blaming the Biden administration for shutting the project down and promising to get it back on track. He didn't mince words. The Keystone XL pipeline was killed by Sleepy Joe, a total disaster, Trump said. But under my administration, that pipeline will get built. Fast approvals, immediate start. If the company that was working on it before doesn't step up, we'll find someone else who will. He made it clear, if he has his way, that pipeline is happening. The energy relationship between the United States and Canada isn't just about oil. It's about strategy, security, and a pipeline network that keeps the economy running smoothly. Canada has long been America's top oil supplier, and for good reason. With its vast oil reserves and a system of pipelines stretching across the border, it plays a critical role in fueling U.S. industries and transportation and households. Many American refineries are specifically designed to handle the type of oil that comes from Canada, heavy, sour crude from the oil sands. While this oil is thicker and requires more processing, it's essential for U.S. refineries that don't have many alternatives. In 2023 alone, the U.S. imported over 4.4 million barrels per day of Canadian crude, accounting for more than half of its total petroleum imports. But it's not just oil. Canada is also a key supplier of natural gas, especially in areas that rely on cross-border pipelines for a steady energy supply. This deep connection between the two countries makes energy one of the most important aspects of their economic partnership. Despite being a global oil producer itself, the U.S. still imports a significant amount of crude, about 6.48 million barrels per day in 2023. While Canada leads the pack, other major suppliers include Mexico 11%, Saudi Arabia 5%, Iraq 4%, and Brazil 3%. Interestingly, Saudi Arabia and Iraq, both part of OPEC, have historically provided heavier crude to help balance U.S. refinery operations. OPEC nations collectively supplied about 16% of U.S. oil imports in 2023, amounting to 1.34 million barrels per day. However, the U.S. has intentionally diversified its sources, pulling in oil from 86 different countries to reduce reliance on any single region. Even as the U.S. aims to boost domestic production, its reliance on Canadian oil remains a cornerstone of its energy strategy. One reason is cost. Canadian crude, priced under the Western Canadian Select WCS benchmark, typically trades at a discount compared to U.S. oil. This means refineries can get a steady, affordable supply while keeping operations efficient. And while most of the attention goes to crude oil, the energy trade between the U.S. and its partners also includes hydrocarbon gas liquids, refined fuels like gasoline and diesel, and biofuels. In fact, the U.S. has a reciprocal trade arrangement with Mexico, importing crude while exporting refined products back south. By keeping its energy imports balanced across multiple countries, the U.S. ensures a stable and secure energy supply, even as global markets shift and policies evolve. Every day, the U.S. imports nearly 8.5 billion cubic feet of natural gas from Canada. That's a staggering amount, and it's absolutely essential, especially in winter when heating demand skyrockets. Without this supply, millions of people in colder states would face higher energy costs or even shortages. But energy trade between the two countries doesn't stop there. Electricity also flows across the border, with Canadian provinces like Quebec and Ontario sending power to U.S. states such as New York, Michigan, and those in New England. These electricity imports help keep the grid stable, particularly during peak usage times or unexpected outages. Beyond fuel and power, Canada is also a crucial supplier of industrial materials like uranium, critical minerals, and other resources that support everything from nuclear energy to high-tech industries. Whether it's traditional energy or emerging technology, Canada's role in the U.S. economy runs deep. Now, before we go any further, let's take a quick break. If you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button and let us know your thoughts in the comments. It helps us a ton and we'd love to hear from you. Alright, back to it. If there's one energy project that has sparked years of controversy, it's Keystone XL. For more than a decade, this pipeline has been at the center of fierce debates over economics, politics, and the environment. Originally proposed back in 2008 by TC Energy, formerly known as TransCanada, the goal was simple move oil from Alberta to U.S. refineries more efficiently. Supporters argued it would boost jobs, strengthen energy security, and deepen trade ties. But opponents raised major concerns over environmental risks, regulatory hurdles, and the broader push toward renewable energy. And that's where things get complicated. For over a decade, the Keystone pipeline system has been a major player in North America's energy trade, moving vast amounts of oil from Alberta, Canada, to key locations in the United States. Since its launch in 2010, this massive pipeline has supplied crude to refineries in Illinois and Texas and filled storage tanks in Oklahoma, ensuring a steady energy flow between the two countries. But the real controversy began with Keystone XL, a proposed expansion that would have stretched 1,200 miles from Hardisty, Alberta to Steel City, Nebraska. The goal? To create a faster, more direct route that could transport an additional 830,000 barrels of oil per day. However, this project quickly became one of the most hotly debated energy issues in modern history. Environmental groups sounded the alarm, pointing out that oil extracted from Alberta's tar sands emits up to 81% more greenhouse gases than conventional crude, making it a serious threat in the fight against climate change. Then there's the issue of land and water protection. The pipeline's planned route would have cut through Nebraska's sandhills and the Ogallala Aquifer, a critical water source for millions. Critics warned that even a single oil spill could devastate local farms, contaminate drinking water, and cause irreversible damage to fragile ecosystems. But perhaps some of the strongest resistance came from indigenous communities. Tribal nations argued that Keystone XL threatened sacred lands, violated treaty rights, and ignored indigenous voices. Concerns that led to multiple legal challenges and years of regulatory battles. The fate of Keystone XL has been anything but stable, shifting dramatically with each U.S. administration. In 2015, President Obama rejected the project, citing environmental risks and the need to reduce carbon emissions. In 2017, President Trump reversed that decision, issuing orders to fast-track construction, arguing that the pipeline would create jobs and reduce America's reliance on foreign oil. Then, in 2021, on his first day in office, President Biden revoked the permit once again, aligning with his climate agenda and pushing for renewable energy investments. With the permit canceled, TC Energy, the company behind Keystone XL, officially shut down the project in June 2021, abandoning construction and dismantling whatever had been built. Fast forward to today, and Donald Trump is pushing to bring Keystone XL back to life. He argues that North America needs a secure, stable energy supply, especially with global oil prices swinging wildly and tensions rising in international markets. Supporters claim that restarting the pipeline would create jobs, boost economic growth, and strengthen energy independence. But opponents aren't convinced. The same environmental concerns, indigenous rights issues, and regulatory obstacles that stalled the project before haven't gone away. Even if Trump were to greenlight the project again, the challenges would be enormous. New approvals would be needed, lawsuits from environmental groups and tribal nations would almost certainly follow, and with TC Energy officially out of the picture, a new company would have to step in and take on the massive undertaking. And that raises an even bigger question. Is Keystone XL really the future of U.S. Canada energy relations, or is it time to explore new alternatives? Did you find this video informative? If so, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you are not already.